Great Britain does pomp and ceremony better than any other nation on earth. And never will this be more apparent than on Saturday, when an estimated 300 million global viewers will admire not only the King, but also 6,000 or so members of our armed forces resplendent in their ceremonial uniforms. Just how much work has gone into making these soldiers, sailors and RAF personnel look shipshape and Bristol fashion is revealed in a fascinating new BBC documentary, Coronation Tailors, Fit for a King. Presented by Patrick Grant, one of the judges from the Great British Sewing Bee, and granted behind-the-scenes access at 3 factories, it celebrates British manufacturing and craftsmanship, revealing the heritage behind our military uniforms and the stories of those who will wear them with pride. The first is Coshket and Partners, a multi-generational family of master tailors based in North London, which hand-makes gold coats for the state trumpeters, and the uniforms of the Life Guards, the Blues and Royals, the Foot Guards and the gunners firing the Royal Gun salutes. Coshket started out as milliners to the Russian imperial court in the 19th century and have been making military clothing since the first half of the 20th century, Patrick says. Every bespoke uniform starts with 23 individual elements, while a dress uniform has around 60 individual pattern pieces. Nathan Coshket, 25, the 4th generation of the family to head the firm, explains, "We are incredibly proud to be making uniforms that are instantly recognizable internationally as symbols of London and Great Britain, from the scarlet tunics of the guards outside Buckingham Palace to the dress and undress uniform of the Beefeaters." Patrick, 51, who runs his own bespoke tailoring business on London's Savile Row, is well used to exquisite tailoring, but even he was blown away by the dedication. One uniform alone takes 34 hours of tailoring and embroidery, he says. From start to finish, each takes 6 weeks but can be expedited in just 2 days if necessary. Then every uniform is pressed and ironed up to 60 times, and there's a 40-point checklist that each garment has to pass. Not all the uniforms that will be on parade are brand new, but those that are not will have had to be altered for new insignia, including the new Charles III cipher. Patrick also visits another family company, Hainsworth, based near Leeds, who have been supplying high-quality uniform fabric for 200 years. Their cloths went to Trafalgar, Waterloo, the Crimea, South Africa in the Boer War and the 2 World Wars, he says. Don't miss. Unseen photo of Charlotte taken by Kate released ahead of Coronation. Latest, lawsuit filed demanding release of Prince Harry's US visa records. Latest, Met Gala 2023 live, updates from red carpet in New York. Latest, the incredible scarlet fabric which so many ceremonial uniforms are made from is their work. As the fabric bubbles away in an enormous vat of red pigment, every single meter of cloth has to be dyed the exact same shade of scarlet. It's a massive responsibility. Finally, he visits Furman & Sons, in Birmingham, which makes the metal accessories for ceremonial uniforms, including cap badges, military insignia, buttons, sword handles, household cavalry helmets and brass breastplates. The company dates back to 1650 and, incredibly, still has in-use equipment from that time, Patrick explains. There's a blacksmith's elm bellows, and specialist anvils which survived the Great Fire of London in 1666. These have been used to make items worn at Trafalgar, Waterloo, the Somme, El Alamein, Helmond-Provence, and at this coronation. The company has now supplied items from Charles II all the way to Charles III, that's 17 kings and queens in all. The soldiers of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment will be seen in their glorious scarlet and gold summer order uniforms. Many will be up for most of the night making final improvements to the mirror sheen of their silver cuirasses, state helmets and boots, which alone can take more than 200 hours of polishing. We have the confidence to be in the spotlight on the world stage representing the armed forces, the nation and the monarch, explains Squadron Corporal Major Chris Libbard, lifeguard standard bearer. Even as a couture professional, Patrick admits seeing scores of ceremonial uniforms coming together under one roof was spectacular, especially under such stringent time restraints. When we started filming, everyone was very calm, but that started to change a little as time went on, he says. The amount of work these businesses have been doing is extraordinary. Their output has probably doubled from what it's usually like. It is a very big deal. With his own collection of exquisitely tailored suits, Patrick knows more than anyone how to judge sartorial style. In his opinion, King Charles III is a savvy dresser. I hate to sound like I'm sucking up, but the king always looks pretty good, he says. He has a very singular style, from the way he ties his tie to the cut of his suit and how he always wears a little lapel pin. But he is also somebody who cares for his clothes. He even wears pieces of clothing that were his grandfather's. Like the king, Patrick loves to wear garments he has inherited. I have a few bits of clothing that belong to my father and also my grandfather, he says. My view is that good quality clothing lasts a long time, and the more you wear something, the better it should feel. The clothes I love the best are the ones I've had the longest. It's always been something of a false economy to wear cheap stuff, and, now we're aware of the impact throwaway fashion has on the environment, it's more important than ever. Indeed, the designer has long been admired for championing sustainability in the textile industry. In 2015, he launched a social enterprise called Community Clothing aimed at selling affordable, good-quality clothing while creating jobs in textile-making regions. Speaking about the positive shift in attitudes towards sustainability, he says, people are fixing their clothes and repairing them, and darning is now cool. There is really a big awareness out there now. All of the negativity about wearing old clothes has gone now. We are consuming less material, wearing less high-street clothing, and there are a growing number of cool young people who have recognized this. Patrick will return to our screens for the 9th series of The Great British Sewing Bee after the Coronation, where he enjoys an entertaining rapport with fellow judge Esme Young. She doesn't pull any punches, he laughs. She says exactly what she thinks. Sometimes we agree and sometimes we don't, but whenever we don't agree, we both respect one another enough that we're still friends at the end. But before then is the more pressing matter of the coronation. Patrick will be watching proceedings on TV with friends who are hosting a coronation garden party. He will be keeping an extra special eye on the military personnel. All 6,000 of them. Coronation Tailors, Fit for a King is on BBC Two at 9 p.m. tomorrow.
love